Hello again. So my next video starts in Norsewood, a strange little place whose origins stem back to the 1870s when a group of Scandinavian migrants emigrated over to New Zealand on promises from the then New Zealand government of jobs. This place today still retains its unique character. Children here learning Scandinavian dance at school, and Norway's Constitutional Day is even still celebrated by the locals. We had a delightful host here called Rosie. She stayed on this farm just outside Norsewood. Here she is.
Pull it up and then go. Okay, reverse. You have to, and to go down the gears, you just push it down, and reverse is right down here. Probably the same Okay, right, so up here without any problem. And then you just lift it up. Yeah, you just lift it up and take it off. Where am I going? So you go along the track. Yeah. You can actually cut across. I'll show you.
So Rosie didn't actually have a great deal of work for us to do, but we did give the boys a hand in chopping and moving some of the wood, and I got my back stuck into a little bit of crazy paving that she wanted doing. Rosie introduced us to one of her neighbours, a couple of European students, agricultural students, who were actually managing this cattle farm. The top of their cattle farm is this hill which we climbed, which was probably the highest point that we could see from Rosie's farm. This is the view from up there. This is where we are, the Ruahine Ranges in the lower half of the North Island. So those are the Ruahine Ranges, and I'm panning round to the east, across to the east coast. Now panning around south, and Rosie's place is just about in the middle there.
Laura and Ben's like,
One is not happy.
I think Ben is.
One is not impressed. You, on the other hand.
I'm flirting a little bit.
That's not real.
So Rosie offered to take us and introduce us to a friend of hers, Tim. Tim lived a bit northeast of where Rosie was living, and this is our trip up there. Tim used to be the mayor of Hastings. One of the things that Tim thoroughly enjoys doing is building illegal dams all around his property. Tim has quite a vast plot of land spanning several hundred hectares.
There's no efficiency loss because obviously with that pulley, you probably lost about 20% efficiency through the drive mechanism with your direct drive. The original one was, you can see that just here there used to be a pump mounted on here, on that bracket, and there's a chain drive onto a smaller chain drive.
Yeah.
And that was onto a cam. What he's done is put the cam in there, and that's the pump.
Yeah.
Just real basic. And see, it's only running on half the pedals. So I mean, if you what I eventually want to do is put know, put a structure taking all the water through.
Yeah.
So along with this water wheel, which was in fact only used to pump water up to a small dam that he'd built next to his house, Tim also had a wind turbine, quite an extensive array of solar panels, and intentions on putting hydroelectric turbines up on his farm using the dam water in the dams that he'd recently built. Tim got his old Land Rover out of storage at his mum's place a couple of doors down the road, cranked it up and took us for a tour on his farm. Very dry. Took the dogs with us. Here are a couple of the dams up at the top that he uses just to collect the water when it does actually rain. This was helping to keep the cattle at least hydrated. Tim didn't actually farm cattle himself. He leased his land out to a local cattle farmer. That's the dam he recently built, in which he's going to install some hydroelectric turbines. Tim's one of the few farmers in the area that actually plants trees. It was actually incredibly dry there. Now, from Norsewood and Dennywerk, where Tim was located, we travelled around the Hawke's Bay area, through to Napier and on to Gisborne. Not before making one little stop off though, at Ocean View before we even got to Napier. We were invited by a couple of Tim's friends who we met at a barbecue to come and stay at their beach badge here in Ocean View. We spent a night there before moving on. So this is one of the vineyards that we passed as we were going along the Hawke's Bay region. We passed quite a number of them. It was interesting seeing the different cultivars of grapes. A truly spectacular region, really, really beautiful.
We're about... Oh my god, what are we doing?
I think we both regret the fact that there weren't any hosts that we'd booked in with to stay in this area and explore a little more, but we did manage to stop at a cheese factory, New Zealand cheese factory called Tamata, where we picked up some fantastic cheese on our way through to Gisborne.
Ripen somewhat.
Ripen, yeah.
So what are we trying out here? We've got an awesome Pacific blue as blue can be cheese.
That's the Pacific Rose apples we picked. Great.
Enjoying.
It's an $8 slice of cheese, by the way. $9 slice of cheese.
Humbly by the side of the number 2. Oh, even the Lulut's enjoying it.
Have you mentioned the espresso coffees we just made?
Yes, and the espresso coffees, which are currently sitting on the dashboard.
So welcome to Gisborne. Apparently the first place in the world to greet the sunrise each morning, although that does depend on the time of the year and is arguable as some of the Pacific Islands are closer to the international dateline, but truly beautiful place. We had to see it first thing in the morning. It's also the first place that Captain James Cook set foot in New Zealand in 1769. We spent a night here at a campsite in the van and woke up to this beautiful sunrise. Kilu had a walk on the beach, we had our espresso coffees before leaving Gisborne and proceeding on through the Waioka Gorge.
How stunning is that? It's ridiculous.
So this is the morning mist, and this is the start of the gorge. This gorge pretty much cut off the peninsula instead of us going around the coast route.
Okay.
We're in a bit of a hurry at this point to get up to the Coromandel. We noticed as we travelled further north, the vegetation got quite a lot greener. The temperature got quite a lot warmer. And this Waioka Gorge was truly fantastic. So as YouTube only allows me to upload 10-minute videos at a time from the Waiaka Gorge, toodaloo.
Much stress.